Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw, the only pro wrestling podcast you need to be listening to. On today's episode, we are talking about AEW Collision, the debut episode and the big return. And I even have him up here in the little thing here of CM Punk. Phil came back.
Phil's back.
And delivered just an eviscerating promo, which we're going to dig into on today's episode. A fairly eventful Collision. Larson, obviously, where do we want to start? CM Punk, right? What'd you think of his return, man?
Well, here, before we get into Phil talk.
Yeah, sure.
Overall, the feel of AEW Collision, it felt more in line with a major. Not to say that Dynamite's not a major wrestling show. It is. It's the second largest, up till now, the second largest wrestling show in the United States, North America, probably.
Yeah.
In terms of viewership, in terms of attendance, so on and so forth. Between the set, the graphics, save for the font they use for the lower thirds, which seem like default fonts. How the show was photographed. Maybe part of it's because they're in the United Center, which is a large, this is the Chicago Bulls basketball arena. I think it seats like 17,000 people. It's a large venue.
Yeah.
The show felt larger.
It did. Yeah.
Than your typical Dynamite.
It felt more major league. It felt bigger. I hate to say it felt more WWE. The stage was bigger. Like the entrance ramp area seemed bigger. They sort of pushed the barricades out a little bit more. Yeah. It just had more space, and I don't know why. That just makes it feel bigger. From a production aspect, I thought it looked great, man.
Hold on, I got my earbuds in the wrong ear. All right, there we go. I was wondering why that sounded weird. It did. Everything felt larger. Again, except for the fonts they used in the lower thirds. I mean, it was what? I don't know what it was. It's the most basic stuff.
Yeah, it seemed like one step removed from Impact. So let's talk about the big promo from CM Punk. Of course, he comes out. He's got some boots around.
Not just some boots. I think those are his wrestling boots.
Yeah, well, he was wearing his wrestling boots, but he had on, I guess, his other wrestling boots.
Are we sure he was wearing his wrestling boots?
I didn't see any toes.
Well, I don't doubt he was wearing shoes.
He had his wrestling gear on. He had his wrestling gear on.
All right. I'll go back and see if he was actually wearing. Nonetheless, he had boots on with the idea that, sorry to be a stickler about this, but anyways, he had boots and then a bag, a red bag, and which he later claimed was the AEW championship, the one that he won.
So it seems like, let's start there. Let's start with the championship. We're gonna give you the promo verbatim here in a little bit, or at least verbatim to Larson's notes. Which, by the way, thank you for covering the first bit. We forgot to ask Chris, and then I asked Chris last minute, and Chris jumped in and do the notes.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris.
It seems like we're gonna have a champion versus champion situation.
Maybe. Yeah.
He claims to still be the world champion. He didn't walk out as champion for the match in the main event. He didn't do that. He did hold the red bag, which had, according to him, I mean, from the insinuation, pretty heavy insinuation, the thing that he didn't lose, the title. And a little shade at MJF, said, I won this. He says, not because I put on the best performance in a dog collar match, but because I won the dog collar match. And he said, basically, this is mine. Feels like it's going to set up to a champion versus champion situation, him versus MJF. Which I'll be honest, I personally like. I think that's a great idea. Add some intrigue. I liked when I wasn't watching live at the time, but in retrospect, seeing what they did with Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon with the 2 Intercontinental Championship, thought that was cool stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's good stuff right there. I'll be honest. I mean, just getting down to the promo, I love the promo. I thought it was awesome. I thought it felt as edgy as you want to be. I thought that the shots at the Elite, call them the counterfeit Bucks. Obviously, he didn't refer to anybody by name, but talking about
counterfeit Bucks is pretty damn close to referring to the Young Bucks by name. Yes,
pretty damn close.
Yes.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what to expect. This was a lot more. God, what's the word I want to use? I don't want to say bitter, but there was definitely a chip on his shoulder. He had some shit to get off his chest, And he did it. I mean, he really, really did it. He called them soft, man. He called the Elite soft.
He did. Like, the general thesis of the promo was, well, he's continuing on with the thing of, tell me when I'm telling lies.
Yeah.
But the general thesis is, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to compromise. I am who I am. And if you don't like it, tough.
Kick rocks. Yeah.
Essentially. And then, yes, proceeded to call the Elite soft. He referred to the Young Bucks as counterfeit Bucks. Let me get down to like the concluding aspect of it. He says, because he talks about people were hoping that he put his boots down.
Yeah.
Whether he's wearing them on his feet or around, or carry them, regardless. We're going to lay his boots in the ring and call it quits. And he says, I'll do that when somebody in this company can fill my boots. But until then, they belong on my feet.
Speaking of Phil, he referred to himself as, he claims that David Zaslav, the head of Warner Brothers Discovery, refers to Phil as One Bill Phil.
Yeah.
Which might be, I mean, is that code for like AEW got $1 billion from Warner Brothers Discovery? Because that hasn't, like, any new TV deal hasn't been made public.
Announced. I mean, that was the number that was put out there. When that kind of those conversations were out there in the wrestling internet ether, that they got $1 billion deal. It's interesting he mentions that, quoting the president, whatever, CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, just a mere few sentences after talking about he speaks truth to power.
I look. What I'm trying to do here is stick to like the in-universe promo of CM Punk and not dive into, he's calling the Elite soft, but he's the one who's bitching about getting hit with a wayward chop to the face. I'm not going to dive into that. I'm just trying to deal with the promo we got. You can call somebody out for either being a walking contradiction or hypocritical, or they're the same thing possibly. Not going to dive into that. Just trying to dive into the meat of the promo. I thought it was a killer promo.
Steve wants to focus on the show alone.
I do, because we've had so many episodes where this person says, and to me, it's all important, pertinent information in the world of wrestling and backstage politics. I'm fine to cover that stuff. But I don't think we need to beat a dead horse, basically, in calling out every, detail of his promo. I can feel one way about CM Punk, and I can feel a completely other way about what was the performance that I saw. And that's, how I'd like to frame this. But yeah, I mean, I thought the promo itself, I thought it was outstanding. I thought it's exactly what we needed. That crowd was obviously huge into him. Let me ask you this question about the promo, the meat of it. Obviously, he's going to get cheered huge in Chicago. Is this going to be a Bret Hart and Canada situation in '97? Was there elements to this? I mean, the company still called, and I know they sort of took that out of the new logo, All Elite Wrestling. For now, anyways, the Elite's still part of this company, a major part of this company that will be cheered on Wednesdays.
And Tony Khan is trying to sign them all to new deals,
big money new deals.
Yes.
Did you get any hint of, when he's not in Chicago, is he gonna be a bad guy?
I mean, we'll have to wait and find out when they're not in Chicago. I mean, Dynamite's in Chicago this Wednesday. You know what kind of a reception the Elite's going to get?
Bad one.
Yes. Lots of boos.
Boo.
Jeers. Maybe some tomatoes thrown their way.
Jeers, yeah.
Some trash. I don't know. It's not going to be a strong babyface reaction for the Elite in Chicago this Wednesday on Dynamite if they're on the show. They might just do a backstage promo or something.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, they could do a video.
I don't know. I don't know what they got booked for the show. I don't know. It remains to be seen what happens. I mean, all we have to base it on is the reaction to the crowds have had to the CM Punk promos that have played in the arena.
And
it's been a mixed reaction so far. Will it be different when CM Punk's actually in the building?
Do you think he's the kind of guy? Come on, he's a promo who can turn a crowd around, right? He's sort of
possibly.
Yeah, I think he could do it. We'll see, I guess. I mean, if they go to, I don't know, whatever, like SoCal, where it's like Young Bucks territory, I don't know. It's not like I kind of feel like the Young Bucks don't have the same. I mean, maybe Canada for Kenny, or specifically where he's from, in Canada.
Winnipeg.
I feel like maybe there, but like it's not like the Young Bucks have SoCal locked up the way Punk has Chicago locked up, you know?
No, not at all.
But when they're going all over the place, I don't know. You're right. It totally remains to be seen. It's going to be on Punk to get those crowds back if he's gonna want to be a face. And I kind of get the feeling that kicking things off anyways, he's going to want to be a face because he's going to want to be validated.
Yeah. Well, and also too, if the idea is they're doing title versus title against MJF, they're not going to do that with both of them being heels.
That's true. That's totally true.
You know, as much as I would have loved to have seen CM Punk turn on FTR and join up with Bang Bang Gang, Bullet Club Gold tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
With Jay White still as the leader of Bang Bang Gang.
Bang Bang Gang. Yeah.
That'd have been something else just to pivot like that in the opening show, get people talking.
Yeah. Right.
They didn't do that.
No, they didn't.
I think Punk wants to try to continue the mission that he was on, whatever that might be, before he got hurt, before Brawl Out. And that means him being a face.
Yeah.
And I don't see that changing, even though, you know, he made references in his promo to maybe turning heel a little bit. Maybe he said I'm tired of being nice. So remains to be seen. Once we get
he
into,
literally did say that. I'm tired.
Yeah, that was
of
like
being nice.
that was basically the opening sentence.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm tired of being nice. Yeah. We get outside of Chicago, maybe have a better idea of how crowds will receive him, and if they being AEW decides to roll with it or to pursue the path that they have been on.
Do you think they're going to wait and see what the reaction is, or are they going to go into this, no, he's going to be a good guy, or no, he's going to be a bad guy? Or do you think it's the opposite? You think we'll see what the reaction is and pivot? Do you have any sense so far from what we've gotten from AEW? Are they going to pivot based on the crowd?
You know, I like to say they have a plan in place and they're going to follow through on the plan, but you know, a lot of indications doesn't seem like there's a plan.
Yeah.
You know, you'd hope with a return potentially as large as CM Punk's, you'd want to have a plan in place about where you're going with his character, with the stories.
I think you're right about the MJF thing. I do think that he's got to.
If that's the plan, near future, yeah.
That's got to, like, the red bag's got to be the thing. Right?
I mean, if they thinking that for main event of All In,
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that.
Oh, the Punk's winning.
Champion versus champion.
The Punk's gonna win.
Yeah, he's gonna be new champion. Absolutely. He's one Bill Phil. Sorry to break it to you here. He's one Bill Phil. Of course he's gonna be champion.
Yeah, he's winning again then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, he's gonna save, dude. Come on, he's gonna save AEW. He's gonna save MJF from walking out the way he walked out on WWE.
But they got to wait till December to do that. Then it's got to be at the 11th hour. Is that what they say? It's got to be right before he can leave for that to be most effective.
Kayfabe that stuff, man. But yeah, no, I thought that was good. I thought the rest of the episode was really good, man. We got to see two guys who've been gone for a while. We got to see Miro come back and absolutely kill Tony Nese. And then we got to see just a phenomenal match between Andrade and Buddy Matthews. And it seems like LFI, or at least Andrade himself, I mean, he's part of LFI, are going to be feuding with House of Black.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty stellar feud right there, man.
Yeah.
Roosh and Brody going at it could be pretty great stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great. Jalistico as well.
Yeah.
That could be some good stuff. Yeah, it's good to have. You mentioned Andrade and Buddy put on a hell of a bout. It's good to have Andrade back on TV. It's fantastic to have Miro back on TV. Miro, before he wasn't on TV, consistently one of the most interesting characters in all of wrestling, putting forth some of the best promos.
Absolutely.
I don't know where they're going with the storyline. He's got the theme still. He's got the war horn. Thank you. So hopefully we'll see more. I mean, the Redeemer was still on this Tron. Hopefully we get more Redeemer. They'll continue the story as they were telling with that character, because it's a really fascinating character. It's great to have Miro back.
Yeah. By the way, I got to say this real quick. Apologies for the YouTube side of the stream. Xfinity decided half hour into Collision, nah, you can't have your stream. And they cut my end of it, so they cut the YouTube version. Thank you, by the way, for holding it down solo on the Twitch for the Friendos.
It was fun.
And then, but they give and they take off the way and they give. And about 5 minutes before the end of Collision, they gave me my internet about 15 minutes before the end of Collision. They gave me my internet back, so at least hopefully we'll be able to get through this review. I say that now, and they'll probably take it back.
Yeah, you might. It's like you were throwing a no-hitter, and someone talked to you about it. You just jinxed it.
All right, I know exactly.
Jinxed it. One last thing before we get to the breakdown of the show. I suppose they want AEW Collision to feel like a show that people need to tune into. They need to have a surprise. Something happened that would shock viewers. And while we didn't get, for a while anyways, for at least 3 weeks until they get to Regina and there's like 50 people in the crowd.
Not Regina.
Yeah, Regina. It's going to let AEW down.
By the way, Alex gave us a rate here on the Twitch. Thank you so much, Alex.
Hi, Alex.
Yeah.
Anyway, surprises. We got Luchasaurus, of course, with the help of Christian, defeating Wardlow to win the TNT title.
Yeah, man. It's TNT title, baby. Anything can happen.
I know. So Christian took a camera, DSLR, I'd imagine, bashed it over Wardlow's head.
Whoop.
And then that led to Luchasaurus getting the win. At this rate, by the end of the year, Wardlow will probably be an 18-time TNT champion.
Yeah.
Like we've seen before, I have a Wardlow lose the title, face odds, just to get it back.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like. Although, if I'm being optimistic about things, Wardlow drops his title. He moves on to something else. And then you get Miro stepping up to Luchasaurus and Christian. They must be redeemed. He gets back his beloved TNT title.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, man. That is the hot potato title.
Not when Miro has it.
Man, as soon as he gets it, who took it off him? Somebody took it off him.
Sammy Guevara took it off him because he exploited that he had a body of granite but a neck of sand. He's figured that out, though.
Has he?
Yeah, I think he mentioned that before he left for several months.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You want to bring some prestige back, the TNT title, you put it on the Redeemer. I
say this, man. I say he's the guy that takes down Orange Cassidy. How about that one?
How about he's the guy that beats Phil and he's the undeclared AEW champion?
I like we've already fast forwarded to CM Punk winning the title because that shit's happening.
If the main event of All In is Phil versus MJF, Phil is walking out as champ. Yes, they're gonna have a happy ending for that show. Absolutely,
yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. You want me to go ahead and let's go ahead and pay some bills before we get started here.
Let's do it.
Let me go ahead and do this here and then do this here. All right, Larson, we're ready.
Let's take a quick break here. Get a word from our sponsor, HelloFresh, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the calendar here. Just a few days away from summer. Summertime is nearly here, which means it's time for me to get started on my beach body.
Yeah, your Jay White beach body?
Yeah, I know. If I'm going to get me some Balor abs, I need to start eating right. I need to start eating well. I need to start doing it soon.
Oh man, you want some Bang Bang Gang abs. That's what you want, man. So if you want that, look no further than HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. With HelloFresh, you'll get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered directly to your door. And thanks to their calorie smart and protein smart lunch and dinner options, HelloFresh can help you reach your Bang Bang Gang ab goal, friendo.
Yeah, give me those Jay White abs. I used to be a bit of an amateur in the kitchen. I cooked basically like the same 4 or 5, maybe 6 things most of my life, but HelloFresh's 40 recipe options have gotten me out of that recipe rut. Every recipe comes with easy-to-follow instructions as well, so even to cook an amateur such as me, a delicious meal on the table for my entire family and do it fast. I say this all the time, but wow. Beef bulgogi stir-fry, huge hit here in the Larson house, and my kids, who have really gotten into cooking of late, have really enjoyed helping me prepare the family-friendly recipe options.
HelloFresh also helps take the guesswork out of what to make for dinner and allows you to spend less time on meal planning and prep so you can spend your summer doing the things you want to be doing.
Like getting those Jay White abs.
Oh, man.
Or Tony Nese. We saw him later in this show, too. So, right now, Friendos can try America's #1 meal kit by going to HelloFresh.com/GIR16 and use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/GIR16. Use code GIR16 for 16 free meals plus free shipping.
Also want to shout out before we get started here, Jason Dwyer and Alicia Harding. They both gifted a ton of subs to the YouTube. Memberships to the YouTube chat, and then all the people who gifted subs as well during the Twitch live stream as well. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Over there on the Patreon, patreon.com/Stephen Larson, and the people who are joining on the YouTube channel membership side are getting gifted YouTube channel memberships, get the bonus episodes, they get the question threads, they get to participate in the big June predictions challenge here coming up soon at Forbidden Door. But even bigger than that, we've got Money in the Bank predictions challenge to win sort of a Money in the Bank type advantage. But more important than that, we got the G1 predictions coming up, man. Cody Miles, that's right, the man, the wizard behind our predictions forms, put together a whole G1.
It's something else. It's truly a marvel, marvel of Google form wizardry. It is something else. I'm gonna
run the field this year at the G1.
You're gonna run the field. You're gonna miss a match the first day.
Probably miss several in the first day.
If you're watching here on the YouTube, first of all, thanks. Whether you're watching live, VOD, if you could, please hit that like button. This one looks like this. This is a thumbs up.
Arms of an angel. You're starting to sound like one of those Sarah McLachlan videos. Please.
Oh yeah,
please.
Yeah. Please, if you could.
There are animals hurting all over the place. Give us a thumbs up.
Give us a like.
Will that help the
sub?
Animals? No.
I don't know if it'll help the animals, but we heard it helps us as a YouTube channel to grow the channel. Hit that subscribe button, the notify bell. Okay, that's plenty.
Are we gonna get copyright struck from that?
We are, from your melodic singing.
Is
there.
It that good?
It's like if I close my eyes, I feel like this is a Sarah McLachlan concert. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. So anyways, a collision starts off with CM Punk. Like I said, he comes down with either his current wrestling boots or an alternate pair of wrestling boots around his neck. Crowd goes crazy for good old Phil, for Pepsi Phil.
Phil. An interesting thing he does before he starts talking is he takes there's that square thing that's around the top of the mic. A flag is what they call it. And he takes that off.
Oh, that I didn't. I noticed the mic was without one.
Yeah, he took it off.
The fuck does that mean? Is it because was the word elite on it?
Maybe.
Was it the old school logo or the new red one?
I didn't notice, but I saw he just took it off.
Wonder what that's all about. Wow.
He's got problems with the elite. That's what it's all about, Steve.
Wow, he's going to start wearing an FUE shirt.
He's going to be the new elite hunter.
FUTE. He is going to be. Him and Kazarian are going to start a group.
Oh, no, Kazarian's done with AEW, Steve.
So anyways, Punk gets on the mic. He says, what do you want to talk about now? He says, I don't know if you guys heard, but I'm tired of being nice. Gone 10 months with the ruptured triceps. But I'm still here, and as long as I am, this is the pro wrestling business. It's a business of grown-ups. Tonight we're going to have a conversation about the future, but first I want to have a conversation about my past. If you'd have told me about if you would have told
16
me
years ago or something like that, I can't remember the exact time frame yet.
A long time ago, that I would have sold out Budokan, MSG, multiple buildings in Chicago, old Punk wouldn't have believed it because he wouldn't have experienced all the things that I've experienced. I'm tired of being nice. I did all these things, and I got here riding the wave of smart, passionate pro wrestling fans. I never fit in more than I have in pro wrestling, and I love you for it. And I love you because you love me. I am me. I couldn't have done all this without all of you. But there seems that there are some people who hate me for the same reason you all love me. And then the Chicago crowd responds with, boo. Yeah, and he says, I understand that the sheer magnitude of me makes people uncomfortable because I am the truth and the truth is painful. That line right there, I know it's not supposed to be a bad guy line. It's a bad guy line.
It is. I know.
You can't stand the magnitude of me. What kind of egomaniac is that?
Massive.
But maybe, I don't know, maybe he thinks it's a face thing. Anyways, he says, boo me, cheer me, love me, hate me. You all do it because you know I'm right. You can call me whatever you want. You know what? David Zaslav, which is an interesting to bring up a network executive name.
Yeah, I know.
He's in the pantheon of pro wrestling promos. Bringing up a network's executive's name isn't really...
Not generally something a babyface does.
You know what David Zaslav says? So he's the head of WWD. He says, he calls me One Bill Phil because I'm the genuine product in a world of counterfeit bucks. Yeah. He says, the king is back, baby. And I do have a lot of things to get off my chest. You might as well call this Festivus. He says, I got a question. Why would I change? I'll always speak truth to power, including to David Zaslav. I will never compromise. There's the people who think they're owed an apology. I've grown wiser in my years. Sometimes it's better to be the bigger man. If you're here and you think you're owed an apology, the only thing softer than you are the wrestlers in the back that you like. The last time you saw me with my triceps meat hanging down, I held what's in this bag above my head. Talk about the title. It's mine because I earned it. This belongs to me until someone pins or submits me for it. There are those of you that were praying that I would put these boots down and walk into the sunset. But until there's someone in this company who can fill these boots, who can fill the boots of One Bill Phil, they belong in my feet. Tell me when and he said this line a lot throughout the
Many
promo.
times, yeah.
Tell me when I'm telling lies
Yes.
was his central thesis throughout this whole promo.
So question,
thanks again for paying attention and writing as
No
much
problem.
as you could down.
So I hate to go back to the boots thing, but I have a question.
Yeah.
So if he was wearing his actual boots, whose boots did he have?
Danhausen's. Remember, he always takes Danhausen's stuff.
Yeah, but Danhausen, those are the ones I thought he wore because he liked them.
Oh, dude, I'll be honest. I have no idea.
But if they're Danhausen's boots, then you're saying that Danhausen will retire when someone can fill Danhausen's
they're
boots.
just his other boots. I don't. Maybe he was wearing socks. I don't know. Maybe was he wearing some Chucks? What does he usually wear? He usually wears Vans.
Vans, yes.
Yeah, maybe
Old
he's wearing
schools.
Vans. I don't know. Tell me when I'm lying, though. I'm gonna start using. I'm gonna go to the bank. I like to deposit this $20.
Sorry, your account is overdrawn. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I have $10,000 in there. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
You're telling a lie now, sir. You're overdrawn. Says here you spent a lot of money at Burger King.
I like the red bun whoppers. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
So yeah, I don't know, man. Like recounting it now, saying the words, a lot of it sounds like a heel promo,
It
or
does.
just a guy who wants validation that
He's right.
He's right, which is sort of I don't know. No regrets here. No regrets.
None.
That's for
Zero.
sure.
None.
Yeah.
That hasn't exactly been Pepsi Phil's way, though, has it?
No, it isn't. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll find out. And when he gets to Regina, we'll see what he said, what he has to say to the Regina crowd.
Yeah.
All 50.
Yes. Now we got a raid here from Get the Tables. Thank you so much for the raid.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it.
Then we had a Wardlow Luchasaurus video package, which led to their TNT title bout. As mentioned, Wardlow lost. He's going to be a 15-time TNT champ by the time the year is up, probably.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a really fun match. At one point, Wardlow is going for the Powerbomb Symphony. Christian gets on the apron. He completely disregards Christian at this time.
Yeah.
Doesn't get distracted. Hits Powerbomb. So then Christian is beside himself, and Wardlow's starting to conduct the crowd. So Christian's by the ringside with a chair, like threatening to get in. He throws it down.
That crowd for a lot. He was conducting that orchestra.
Yeah, he was wasting tons of time. He should have been focused on Luchasaurus. By the time Luchasaurus, he gets him up for another power bomb. Luchasaurus hits him with a choke slam, gets a 2 count there. So then Luchasaurus looks for a tombstone. Wardlow reverses that into a power slam. Yeah. And then a swanton. So he drops the straps, getting ready for the Powerbomb Symphony again. Christian gets on the steps. Wardlow evades Luchasaurus, goes for the 10 punches, but Luchasaurus slips out. So he distracts the ref while Christian grabs a camera from ringside and bashes Wardlow in the head with it. And I think Luchasaurus hits him with like a forearm or a clothesline or something, covers Wardlow to get the win.
Yeah, that camera got destroyed over his head.
Yeah, that basically blew up when it hit Wardlow's head. So then Luchasaurus puts Christian on his shoulders, and Christian holds up the TNT title. So is he champion now?
I'm sure he'd love to be, but I don't see it that way. I'm just like, I just think, hey, I got this done for my dude, so I'm going to get a little piece of the glory here. But yeah, it's certainly not Wardlow. But yeah, I get the feeling that I think you're right. I think Wardlow's going to be like what Goto was to that Never Openweight title.
Yeah, there you go.
It's going to be the Wardlow title.
What a good analogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So after that, we have, oh boy, QT. At least it wasn't a QTV skit. So we've got that for us. But Powerhouse Hobbs was with him. And QT says he's got a QTV exclusive. He says Hobbs is going to be in and win. The Owen Hart tournament. The Owen.
Owen.
And then Hobbs says, when the promo for Collision dropped, who was front and center? Powerhouse. I'm the face of TNT. There's a new chapter in the book of Hobbs, and it's redemption. In the Owen Hart tournament, I'm taking what's mine. And then he's all mad and storms off, and QT says, great, you pissed the champ off. And then he walks off. Who's going to win the Owen?
Owen. Hey, before we get to this next match, I want to talk about the new commentary team on Collision.
Oh,
you basically can't ask for a better two-man booth than Kevin Kelly, Nigel McGuinness. Fantastic.
I get the feeling that at some point, one of the friendos asked us the question. By the way, right now for channel members and patrons, I just put up the questions thread. So if you want to get your question in, go ahead and put it up. At some point, somebody's like, hey, what would be the best commentary team in wrestling? And we laid it out, man. Nigel, Kevin Kelly, maybe as a joke, I said JR. And look what happens. I'm telling you, they pay attention to this show.
Might be.
Just like immediately the best commentary team in wrestling. You and I are huge Nigel fans, huge Kevin Kelly fans. And this was awesome. Off the bat, they had really good chemistry. I expect within a couple weeks, maybe by the time they get to Regina, it's going to be a killer commentary team. I felt for good old JR, man. I know he had a spill today where he busted up his eye, something fierce. Yeah. And he sounded pretty rough tonight.
Yeah. Apparently, JR is going to be just sitting in for the main events on Collision, where Kevin Kelly and Nigel McGuinness will be handling the remainder of the show. But yeah, early indications. It's going to be a fantastic commentary team, and you'd imagine the chemistry is only going to grow the more they do it. Although Kevin Kelly is going to be gone for the G1. I guess that takes precedence. Someone asked him on Twitter if taking this job and mean he's missing the G1. And he said no, there'll be a fill-in for him during the G1.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's going to be traveling to Japan for the G1, or there's a spell where they were doing commentary remotely.
They should do what AAA does. Just have some dude in his bathroom with my Xfinity internet.
Yes.
After that, we had Andrade, the returning Andrade El Idolo, versus Buddy Matthews of House of Black. And man, oh man, this is great stuff. He had Andrade getting a busted shoulder and Buddy Matthews with a busted knee. Who would be able to take advantage? Buddy Matthews trying a bunch of shit towards the finish that required him to have a strong leg and him just buckling under that leg.
Yeah.
And some of this bit when that leg first buckled and Andrade hit him with that back elbow. Oh man, that looked rough.
I mean, during picture-in-picture, they even went through the trouble of really selling the injuries of having trainers get in the ring to check on each of them. And Andrade did a hell of a job, holding his arm close to his body like it was really hurt. It was fairly convincing. But man, this match was awesome.
Yeah, it was
awesome.
Great.
And the finish saw Buddy put on the reverse cloverleaf like Rhea Ripley does on Andrade. Andrade rolls through, pushes Buddy into the corner, locks on a figure 4, bridges up for a figure 8. Buddy taps.
That was cool, man.
That was pretty
really
neat.
Cool. I love that. I thought that was awesome. Great shout out to Charlotte and Rhea Ripley there.
Yep.
So yeah, Andrade gets the win, and afterwards, apparently he's going to be a Technico now. He's going to be a good guy. He tries to get Buddy up, to shake hands, and he pushes Andrade away.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Come on, man, shake my hand." Lights go out. Come back up. Brody and Malachi are there. Andrade gets killed with a discus lariat from Brody before Malachi looks him over. Says, "Good to see you, old friend." And then the lights go out again. So, man, I appreciate that we can get an LFI, trios thing. Can we at least get some singles matches too between Andrade and Malachi and Andrade and Brody? They don't do that enough, man. Sometimes they just need to go to the solo route.
I know, to really, build up and elongate the feud in like a reasonable manner,
Yeah.
I really want to see Roosh versus Buddy Matthews. I think that'd be spectacular too.
Oh man,
hard hitting.
Oh, that's some strong style stuff.
Hard hitting. Then we got an awesome video package for Scorpio Sky. Fantastic. He's back on TV.
Love it.
It's a bummer that he was off TV for so dang long.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be a major part of Collision going forward. Then we get Tony Nese in the ring. He drops a promo. Says, as a personal trainer, I can't sit in the back with all these fat, out of shape people Chicago has to offer. I have good news. I have shut Collision down. Tonight we're going to do group training. Everyone stand up, put the deep dish down. We know New York is better. Before he can finish,
Miro took offense to that. Yeah, man. He's like, "No, buddy, deep dish."
Yeah.
If I lived in Chicago, easily I'd be 50 pounds heavier.
Oh, I'd be pushing $3 bills, man.
$3 bills.
I'd have 2 Italian beefs a day.
Man, oh my God.
I'd move right next to a Portillo's.
I don't know how they do it over there without like everybody just being like, shut in huge. Like, my 600-pound life would be me in Chicago, man. Holy crap, I'd be eating all of it every day.
Yeah, I know. So much Italian beef. God, those were so good.
They were so fucking good, man.
You get the spicy peppers and the gravy on it. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, it was so good.
Man.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways, Miro wiped the floor with Tony Nese.
Killed him. Killed the guy. Got him.
Just annihilate him. Machka kick. Game over.
Yeah.
Win for Miro.
Oh yeah, I was surprised he didn't crank back the game over.
I know. I like when he does that.
I love when he does that shit. Oh man, I'd be just waddling around, boy.
I know. I know.
I'd have like a bib on all the time.
Exactly.
Like, why are you wearing that bib? You never know when I'm gonna get to a Portillo's.
Yeah. If I turn the corner and there's Portillo's there, Italian beef's good. I'm gonna order one.
It'd be like that. The down the road here in my neighborhood when there's that 7-Eleven just sitting there. I'd make sure I'd be like, let's get a Portillo's.
Oh yeah, you live near the neighborhood Portillo's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So after Miro just annihilates Tony Nese, we get a CM Punk video package rehabbing the injury, and then we got the Outcasts. Tony Storm, Ruby Soho taking on Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale. Sky's mom, again, ringside.
We
did not join the Outcast, though.
That close to your prediction, we did an overrun this past Friday. Real good stuff. Available to YouTube channel members and patrons is still around. And we did 10 things we need to see at Collision, the debut. And one of them was Sky Blue. Mom Blue would join. Sky Mom would join the Outcasts. Yeah, you can't go around saying, "Hey, Mom Blue." You got to say, Sky Mom.
Yeah,
that's much better.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Jimmy Thomas says, "Let me tell you something, Steve. As a Chicago native, you're right. We're a hoss city." Yeah, dude. Because it's also really windy. Nobody wants to be outside, like doing stuff. It'd just be beer and,
Yeah, some old style and some Portillo's. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If old style's still like a thing in Chicago.
Frickin' Charlene says Woodmere Oak 7-Eleven. Yes, that's the fucking one. How do you know that shit? Charlene knows. She's like, "Oh man, I'm getting them big bites all day long."
Yeah.
The Woodmere
that's
Oaks
great.
One. Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Old style used to be the Midwest beer. I don't know if it still is. Anyways, let's talk about this match. I don't know if you know this, Steve, but the Outcasts, they like to use a spray paint.
They love that spray paint.
To help them win matches. They spray paint L's on people after they win matches.
That stands for loss.
Yeah, the L. So they tried to use that again here. But, so Ruby hits Destination Unknown on Willow. Sky gets the tag. Storm then hits a hip attack on Sky in the corner, and she grabs the spray paint. But then Willow pushes her into Ruby, and then she spray paints Ruby. Mm-hmm. Then Willow takes out Storm, so Sky Blue hits Ruby with the code blue to get the win. It was a really fun match, though. Really fun match.
Yeah, no, it was excellent stuff. Really, really good stuff.
And then rather than turn on her daughter and join the Outcast, Sky's mom is clapping and celebrating.
She sees which way the wind is blowing here, man. It's like you don't want to be like, "Oh, I'm going to join them," and they just lost.
Yeah, she's biding her time, waiting for the right moment to join the Outcast.
So after that, we're getting ourselves a good old-fashioned concession stand match. I didn't know.
Hold on. Before that, there's something else. Ricky Starks declares for the Owen.
Owen. It's going to be absolute.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see him winning the Owen. I don't know who else.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hobbs.
I can see that too.
And then who else declared for it?
No one this episode.
No one.
Hey, Bret Hart Horse, did anybody else declare for the Owen tournament during this episode of Collision?
Nay. Didn't somebody declare on Dynamite, though? Or Rampage? Some shit like that?
I haven't watched Rampage yet. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm not planning on watching it this week.
Oh, are we off? Yeah, we're off Rampage now.
Yeah,
because
Collision's on.
Yeah, man. Hey, AEW, you get one weekend show. It's either Rampage
You're
or
right.
Collision.
4 hours of wrestling over my weekend is a lot. It's not a pay-per-view. It is.
Man, let's get to this concession stand match.
Yes,
dude.
I was excited about this.
This is going to be awesome. I love the Double J haters out there probably steaming over how much Double J there is on AEW these days. That's one of the bright spots of AEW. I'll be honest.
Look, everybody. Here, see, can I talk to camera for a second?
Talk to camera, dude. Spit.
Listen,
cut.
I've never enjoyed any of Jeff Jarrett's pro wrestling work during basically the entirety of his career. I thought he was lame.
Yeah.
Didn't like his work.
Go away heat.
Massive go away heat until he came to AEW. And he's having fun. He's not involved in anything like super important. He's not involved in the world title scene.
Right.
He's involved in fun stories that happen in the mid card.
Yeah, right.
And that's the operative word. Fun.
Yeah.
They are fun. So if I could turn around on Jeff Jarrett,
which is a
maybe
shocking turnaround.
I'll be huge 180.
All the times I've turned on people, like this is the biggest one I've ever. This one eclipses all of those put together. You turning around on Jeff Jarrett.
It could be
because I got there first. I was super anti Double J.
Yeah,
super anti. I came around a little bit before you did, probably like around like the Flair match stuff, and then on top of that, like the Deadlock dudes, they'd always, especially like James, always posting up stuff about Double J and Impact. And I'm like, man, this shit is funny. Also, I think his table for three, I was like, man, he seems like a cool dude. He really does. And then like the stuff with Flair where he beat up Flair with Jay Lethal, I was like, man, they got really good chemistry. I kind of like this. And I was like, what am I thinking right now? But yet then, yeah, when he came to AEW, I was like, oh, the Last Outlaws here. Cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah. But he's been having fun, and his work has been a lot of fun.
Oh, dude, yeah.
So,
yeah.
Have an open mind. Open your heart to Double J.
Absolutely, man.
And maybe you'll start enjoying his work.
And yeah, because you were when we were listening to we were listening on our road trip, we were listening to My World, to his podcast. And I think it took a little while to get going, but once it did, it was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were plugging just so much stuff at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of typical of Conrad podcasts, though. They get a lot of ads in. Y'all need to be like kind of grateful that here at Going in Raw, we try to get to it as soon as possible because, man, Cornette, and I know he's a really popular podcast, but, man, they take the long way.
But anyways, we're getting concession stand brawl here match. And I can't wait. Yeah. It's been, 30-some years since we've had one of these?
And he had said that, like, it revolutionized hardcore wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like, this isn't fun and games, man. I don't know what to expect from a concession stand match.
I don't know either. Him, Double J, Mark Briscoe, concession stand match. Can't wait. That's happened on Dynamite. Then Tony Schiavone interviews the Acclaimed. Billy Gunn's got this really awesome, like, pink matching set. It's like a vest, sleeveless shirt, some pink pants. He's got like maybe the brightest pink shoes I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just amazing. So Caster does his usual freestyle, head to the ring, culminates in him wishing Billy Gunn happy Father's Day. And then Tony says, nothing like being in the ring for this. Daddy asked, you look marvelous. And Billy says, you're right. So special night. I got a new scissor outfit. The last few weeks have been a strain on my head, but the trios titles aren't out of the picture. We're about to get on track. Bowen says we have plenty of time to do that now. AEW stands for two things: Acclaimed every Wednesday and Acclaimed every weekend. Wanted to come out to make history with the first ever Collision Scissor. We figured we would do it in the Scissor City of Chicago, where Scissor Me Daddy was born, the city that made the Acclaimed the people's choice. We scissor because Chicago and everyone loves the Acclaimed. So they're about to do it, and then I think it's Caster's like, no, Schiavone, you're doing it too.
Yeah.
And so Schiavone got in as they do the scissor thing.
Dude, listen to this. The Burrito Day, which is a great name here on Twitch, says, anybody remember Jeff Jarrett's MMA gimmick in TNA when he beat up little kids? Double J, double MA. That sounds amazing, whatever it is, man.
I could watch the 100 Jeff Jarrett's clips over and over again.
You got to remind me of that, or send it to me, like text me the video,
it.
Because I keep on forgetting until you bring it up.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
In the middle of the show here. So, yeah, that's good stuff. And then it's announced, we get some matches announced for Dynamite. Jericho, Sammy, Minoru Suzuki will face Action Andrade, AR Fox and Darius Martin, and then Shibata and Orange Cassidy. This had already been announced, versus Daniel Garcia and Zack Sabre Jr. Jeff Jarrett versus Mark Briscoe in the concession stand match. Taya Valkyrie versus Chris Statlander. And wait a second. Had that already happened? The Statlander thing? Because Statlander and Taya had a promo
on this show.
Yeah.
I missed that. Did it happen during this when they announced the matches?
Dude, I thought it was before. I thought it was before this. Am I tripping? Oh, that must have been on Rampage. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was on Rampage.
You're right. I just watched that this morning, so yeah. And then a blind eliminator tag title tournament is going to be on Dynamite, which I don't really know.
I would guess you just don't know who your opponent's going to be.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Okay.
All right, Steve. I didn't find the 100 Jeff Jarrett's clip, but I found the supercut of people just saying 100 Jeff Jarrett's.
Awesome.
So I sent that to you.
Yeah.
Oh, then we had our main event: Bang Bang Gang and Samoa Joe. Bullet Club Gold, Bullet Club Joe taking on CMFTR.
Yeah. They gave this a ton of time.
They did.
Do you think it was so chop heavy to address Chopgate?
Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
A lot of good chops, though. In this match, there were a lot of good chops.
There was. Like, Joe was chopping the hell out of Phil.
Oh, my God, he was. Yeah.
He was chopping the hell out of him. They gave this match a ton of time, but you kind of knew it was going to happen. CM Punk was going to pin Juice Robinson to get the win, and that's exactly what happened. Juice gets the tag in from, I believe, Jay White. And then FTR hit him with a Shatter Machine. Punk follows with the GTS to get the win. I was hoping Kenta might show up afterwards, asking for that money to have the match against Punk. Didn't happen. I was hoping that Punk would turn heel during this match. Maybe join Bang Bang Gang, not as leader. Jay White's still leader.
He's still leader.
Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So at least for this week's on Collision, we're getting babyface Phil. Seems to be the case.
Yeah, definitely seems to be the case. X Ryan here has a super chat, says, hope so you guys were 100% right about Collision because I'm currently at karaoke jamming to some tunes. Hope Collision was fun and you guys are having a good one. He's at karaoke.
Yeah, bowling, karaoke, or at the bar.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sometimes you can go to the bar to do karaoke at a bowling alley.
What do you think the finger wag at Juice Robinson was? I'm not no-selling your bar karaoke bowling thing. You think there's like you can do all of them at the same place?
Yeah, I've been to karaoke at a bar at a bowling alley. Yeah,
and then of course at the bowling alley they have a bar there. Yeah, holy shit, revolutionary. What do you think the finger wag? Because that's after he got the pin on Juice. He was yelling at him, and I was like, did Juice do something wrong?
Maybe wouldn't that be the thing if Phil just goes around backstage lecturing everybody?
Oh, he can now. Now. He's one Bill Phil. David Zaslav said it himself.
I know. That means he can just go backstage and lecture people with impunity.
I kind of feel like that's going to happen too.
If it isn't happening already.
He's probably right now
in Chicago, just backstage, going by it from locker room to locker room.
Yeah.
I got a lot of problems with you people.
Got a lot of problems with you people.
Says, I have advice and you're going to hear it. I'm going to watch all your matches. I'm going to critique them.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you what to do better if you don't do it.
Oh, you're going to get this finger in your face, buddy. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Hey, pal.
And then Matthews is over there. He's like, oi. And he's like, I'm not talking about you, but I will.
Later.
Yeah. Buddy. Hey, pal.
Hey, buddy. Bud.
Hey, bud. Well, that's MJF's thing.
Yeah, that is MJF's thing. So that was Collision.
Sport.
Oh, sport, yeah.
Listen, sport. Hey, Tiger.
All told, let's focus on in-ring action. You got the long Punk promo at the beginning, and then a little bit of story advancement. But it was a fun enough show.
Yeah, no, man, I thought it was good.
It didn't deviate too far from the AEW formula.
Yeah, hopefully they are able to continue the momentum, and within 4 weeks when they hit Regina, it's not going to be Lame-O City. It's not going to be like Rampage 2.0.
Yeah, exactly. You want to answer some questions? Yeah.
I say we should answer some questions.
All right, we have some super chats here. High Plains Drifter says watching at work in the bathroom.
Okay. Like We've been going 50 minutes right now, just on the podcast alone.
Yeah.
Like,
Mike Stevens says, is it surprising they did not announce / set up more for next week, considering the not great ticket sales?
That is actually a really good point.
I think they're just hoping that CM Punk's return will launch ticket sales through the roof.
The buzz from this, yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine. But who knows?
Slicer says this might have already been covered. It hasn't, so we'll address it here to the best of our ability. He says, how isn't the WGA strike, the writer's strike, not affecting WWE and AEW writers? Are they not part of the WGA? I've never heard that they are, but then I know they have to have hired writers that have been union. I wonder if maybe WWE work is outside of that union work.
I would think so. Yeah,
that would be my guess.
Yeah, I don't think that would be is a union job. No. Steve Kaharski here says, I'm going back and watching when y'all booked Raw. I really do love the content. I wish you guys did the show in person again, but still all love. Thank you, Steve. I really We Book Raw was some of the most fun we've probably ever done.
It was wildly fun. I really loved it. Yeah. One thing I've sort of learned, man, you can't go back to it. You got to keep going forward. I think we've got a lot of really cool ideas and content in person together over at Friendo Club Wrestling, our other channel. We've got me and Larson sit down and look at the Kevin Nash comic book from the year 2000. That's coming up. I could maybe tomorrow, maybe on Tuesday. I don't know. But it's coming up soon. We got a couple quizzes. We're doing some Guess the Dave Meltzer star rating stuff, and a lot more just fun stuff, short form fun stuff for the Friendo Club Wrestling channel. Larson's he's coming over every Wednesday. We're filming that in person. So, a little bit of everything. I still firmly believe podcast is best remotely, though.
Yeah. Steve also with the membership. Thank you so much. And Jaden Fox with the gift of membership. Thank you. And then Dick Dunn renewed their membership, said Collision felt bigger. That stage was WWE-esque. It looked awesome and liked the show and matchups.
Yeah. Blind Mask says the Acclaim's promo tonight got me thinking what's next for them. They seem to be going for the trios titles at some point.
Yeah, it seems like that's the case, yeah.
But I don't know what route they're going to take to get there because
they lost to the House of Black.
Yeah, they did, yeah. Narca says, would Von Wagner be a Dynamite or Collision guy? Hey,
he'd be a Rampage guy.
Hey, I'm on Rampage. It's only 1 hour.
He's like, this is my show. Nikyle says, power rank things that could have possibly be inside CM Punk's bag.
Snake. Somebody here said Snake.
Spindrift.
Danhausen.
Some muffins from Mindy's Bakery.
Yeah, some muffins. Tony Khan. A Zaslav sack of money.
There we go. An audio recording of Zaslav calling him one Bill Phil.
You think
pressed on vinyl?
Do you think you? Do you think you could, in $100 increments? No.
What? Count to $1 billion?
That's like way too much.
I mean, it'd take a while. I could.
What do you think would fit? How much do you think would fit in that little sack that he had?
It wasn't very large.
It wasn't very big.
How much money?
In hundreds. Could you fit $1 million?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
100,000. You could fit 100,000.
Yeah, maybe 100,000. Cruz just says, I've been partying all night.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That's what people like to do. That's what people like to do on their Saturdays.
Saturdays. Saturday's all right for fighting, but it's better for partying.
It's better for getting liquored up, playing some Pharaoh, and then getting some nickel feels.
Oh, my goodness. Mayor Planet Houston says, if Cody had been in AEW at the time, would the Elite still have confronted Punk in the locker room, or would he have gone in with them? He would have tried to been like, whoa, guys.
Let's all calm down.
No fighting.
Cooler heads. Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? That never would happen if Cody was there.
He would have tried to play peacemaker for sure.
Khan, Noonien Singh, says, which one of the Bucks do you think updates their Twitter bio?
That was a good question. Probably Matt.
I think it's Matt.
I think it's Matt.
I think it's Matt. He's the one who thinks he's clever.
Yeah. I watch wrestling here says was at the show. I felt it was hard to tell if Punk was a heel or face. He's obviously a face in Chicago, though I did hear some boos when he bashed the Elite. But what do you think they'll book him as going forward? We did talk about that. Don't know.
He said people can't handle the magnitude of me.
That does not sound like a babyface line.
Not at all. But it does seem like it seems like a CM Punk who thinks he's a babyface line.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly.
Ryan Chad says, will Miro or Andrade dethrone Orange Cassidy as champ? It needs to be Swerve, damn it.
Yeah, Swerve.
Kind of surprised there's no Orange Cassidy on this episode.
Maybe he's just going to be on Dynamite.
That could be.
JR Jr., when's the last time a company seemingly allowed a civil war to actually take place on their TV? I don't know if you describe it as a civil war, but Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart did not like each other.
That is true, yeah.
And they brought their animosity onto the television sets for viewers to watch.
By the time they got around to Matt Hardy versus Edge,
yeah,
they were cool with each other.
Yeah.
Or at the I know Matt Hardy has said by the time they got around to that, him and Lita were cool with each other. Mm-hmm. So I would imagine that was probably good, but I mean, people thought that wasn't at the time.
Yeah. Sebastian Garcia says, if this is CM Punk's last run, who are some people you'd like to see him face? And who should he ultimately lose to retire him? Jay White next week.
Who should ultimately retire CM Punk?
Swerve.
Yeah, exactly. It should be
Swerve.
Damn it, man. I'm actually looking for He's got an episode with Christian on his podcast coming up.
He's been getting some awesome guests of late. He had Adam Cole and Kenny.
Yeah. That's really good stuff. Awesome. White Brownie's got it. Rob Shit should
I don't know, man. You see Rob Shit's in XPW.
You know, man, you got to get a paycheck.
I get that.
You got to get a paycheck.
I get that.
You know, I'm not going to look. If I see he does something questionable in XPW, then I'll do that. But some people got to get a paycheck, man.
I understand all that, but still.
Not everybody's going to put a syringe in their balls, man.
Andrew Bates here says, do you think potentially moving Double or Nothing to Chicago is a good idea? The Chicago market always seems to be hot crowds. It's felt like peak 2021, mid 2022 AEW, so moving their blow-off pay-per-view show could make sense. If so, where would you put All Out? Have it rotate like WrestleMania? I mean, I feel like Chicago gets plenty of AEW shows.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
have a pay-per-view in a market that doesn't get a whole lot of them.
Yeah. Like Sacramento.
No, we're lucky if we get a Rampage, man. This juncture.
They come to us specifically for Rampage.
Yeah, live Rampage.
A Rampage Ring of Honor taping.
There we go.
Yeah.
Like a pay-per-view in Seattle or L.A. I know San Francisco got one.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of markets they haven't really been to a whole lot yet that I think would probably offer up really good crowds for pay-per-views.
Yeah, but I like Double or Nothing in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like the name of the pay-per-view is like Vegas thing. And then All Out needs to stay in Chicago. Everything else can just go wherever.
Yeah, it can rotate around. Steve Kaharski, again, here with the super chat says, light the beam.
Yeah, apparently they're experimenting with the new beam.
Really?
I think like a juiced up beam or something. I don't know.
Wow, it's like you can see it from space?
It's like an AI beam or something.
You know how that would work.
They're going to shoot it at Mars.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Oh, here we go. Burrito Day says Alpha Zoe should dethrone Punk.
Great answer. Yes. I'd be all about that.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Do you want to talk to Phil McDonald real quick?
No, we're done.
Oh, wait.
Bye, everybody.
That's a no still?
Fired from everything.
That's a no still.
Yes, absolutely not.
Can I check to see maybe he wants to come on?
No, absolutely not. We're not doing it.
You don't think he does? Can I ask him?
No, you cannot.
You can't?
Because I'm not interested. So that should be it. Done.
I just got to hit this one button right here. Just this one button.
Fired.
He can preview something.
No, there's nothing to preview.
He can preview our show tomorrow.
No, there's no show
What's
tomorrow.
up, everybody? Who wants to know what's going in Raw tomorrow? Okay, you said no, so I cut him off. He has the password.
We're done. Bye, everybody. I'll talk to you on Monday.
That's gonna do it for us now. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. Appreciate it. Maybe on Monday, Phil McDonald will show up.
I was in a good mood, and then you ruined it. Goodbye, everybody. You ruined my weekend.
Good mood? Okay.
Ruined my whole weekend.
I got to make this better now, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Bye.